What's up? So I wanted to do a video on SOFI Technologies, ticker symbol SOFI. Their earnings report is coming out on Monday morning, so you can't do anything after Friday. You're just going to sit there and watch and be excited for SOFI Technologies earnings report. And I wanted to talk about kind of my expectations, my predictions for the stock. Since the year began, right, January 1st, it's gone up almost 30% already. Almost 30%. And within the past like 6 months, it's hit a low of maybe like 6 something to a high of like 18 today. I think 1840, I want to say, I forget, but like somewhere around 18, like somewhere in the mid 18s. And those are massive gains. Chances are you're probably up on SOFI Technologies and you're probably questioning, what do I do with the ER? What's going to happen? Is the stock going to tank after ER like it always does? Is it going to rocket ship emoji to the moon? What's going to happen? So this is going to be my prediction. So I think there's 3 things that I'm looking at. So I'm very bullish on SOFI Technologies, and even if it does drop a little bit after earnings, I don't believe that it's gonna tank. And I have my reasoning for why I do believe that the stock might actually drop after earnings, even despite the fact that I believe that SOFI Technologies is gonna excel on every single cylinder, every single metric they're gonna beat, and they're gonna even increase their forward guidance as well. But why do I think that the stock is gonna drop a little bit? So here's my reasoning. So let's look at membership. I believe that with the loan platform business up and running and like in full throttle, I believe that their memberships are gonna grow even more quickly than they did before. Think about it, right? Before, SOFI had to turn down the loan applications from people that had bad credit scores, right? Or had worse credit scores. And this makes it so that when people are turned down once, maybe they were going to join SOFI Technologies, but instead they had to go find a loan somewhere else. And that makes it so that they're no longer going to become customers of SOFI. However, now with the loan platform business, even though those people don't qualify for SOFI's personal loans, because they're still doing business with SOFI, they're going to be put onto the SOFI app. And that means that when they're in the SOFI app, they count as a customer. Once they get that loan from SOFI, whether it be directly through SOFI or through SOFI's loan platform business, then they'll be directly integrated into SOFI's ecosystem, where they might use SOFI's other products. So I think that actually their memberships are going to grow even faster this quarter than they have previously. Think about when SOFI places an ad, let's say on some random channel. Let's say 100 people look at the ad. We'll say maybe 20 people actually do something. Out of those 20 people, SOFI rejects 10 of them. Before, those people are no longer going to be customers of SOFI. Out of those 100 people, only 10 people became customers. Now that SOFI is actually servicing their loans, right? Instead of 10 people, now 20 people are going to be actual customers of SOFI. Those people will now be integrated into SOFI's ecosystem when they previously were not. So I just expect membership to grow and at a faster rate than it did before. Next thing, we're looking at earnings. I don't see how this can go lower. They have their normal business, right? And they literally, the loan platform business, again, I don't know how much I can stress how important this loan platform business is and how much of an impact it can have on SOFI's balance sheet. The loan platform business is basically a high margin business that requires very little like investment. It's basically, you just have SOFI and then you plop a SaaS business on top. It's a high margin business that requires very little risk, because all you're doing is you're brokering 2 people, and then you're acquiring a fee for doing so. And then in the meantime, you're also getting this person to be a customer and to be put into your flywheel, into your ecosystem. Looking at their earnings, I believe that the earnings are also going to beat by a lot, right? The last thing, so those two you sound really bullish. Why do you think the stock is going to drop? The last thing, the thing that I think is what every single bear is going to pile onto the moment they see it, it's going to be the products per member. Now, when you have all these members joining at once so quickly, right, through this loan platform business, through all these other things, it takes some time for those people to join the flywheel, for those people to actually use SOFI's other products, maybe their banking, maybe their investment, right? It takes some time for those people to start using SOFI's other products. So when they're first onboarded onto SOFI, then everyone's only going to be using one product, right? If you get a sudden inflow of all these people using only one SOFI product, then that lowers the products per user. I think that what might happen is all the bears, all the shorters are going to pile in on this one metric, on this one fact, and say, oh, look, people are trying to use SoFi's products, but then they don't like it, which is why the average of products per user is going down. Or they're going to say something like, oh, we thought that people previously thought that SoFi would have customers join one product and start using other products, but as you can see from the data, they're not actually doing so, when in reality it's because they just had such a massive inflow of customers into SoFi that basically you don't have enough time for those people to even see the other products before it's counted, right? So I think that that's what the bears are going to use as ammo for shorting the stock. Now, I think there's one of two things that could happen, right? Afterwards, I think that people are going to realize eventually that that's stupid, and then maybe in the earnings call, I think that Noto or Crystal Point or someone might actually touch on the point that, well, yeah, we do have a decrease in products per user, but that's because we had such a massive inflow in customers, such a massive inflow in new customers, that those people don't have time to actually use the other products or to experiment with the other products, and then that lowered our average, right? And then in my opinion, I think that the stock might go back up to average or go back up even beyond that, right? But that's my prediction for what I think the SoFi stock is going to do, right? I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that's just what I think is going to happen, and I am really bullish on SoFi. Maybe short term, honestly, you had a gain from like almost a 200% gain, right? 200 some percent gain. So, hey man, if you take profits, I'm not gonna hate on you, but I'm not gonna take profits. I think that SoFi has a long way to go because they're excelling on all cylinders and they don't show any sign of stopping. If anything, it seems like they're accelerating. And comparing it to all these other fintechs, all these other banks, right? SoFi has this amazing moat, and I think that they're just going to get stronger and stronger, right? Look at who they're onboarding on Galileo, on Technis. They're saying a top 5 bank, or what, I forget, top 5 or top 4 bank. Like, all these things aren't even put onto their balance sheet yet. And then the moment that goes onto the balance sheet, the moment people recognize that revenue source, I don't see how you can just label it as, oh, it's just a bank. There's a reason why SoFi is my biggest position. This is crazy. I'm so excited for earnings, and those are my predictions, right? Hey, it could just rocket ship emoji to the moon. That'd be awesome. But I do say that it's possible that people would use that little metric, or that products per user metric, in order to spread FUD, when I think that that's completely unwarranted. But it is a metric, and you do see it in the books, right? It's up to management. I mean, honestly, maybe their products per user is actually going up. That'd be even crazier. Imagine if you had this sudden influx of customers, and then they all use more than one product. That would be mind-blowing. But I just don't see that happening, because it takes some time for people to be acquainted to using SoFi, and for people to explore using other products. If there is a dip after earnings, I'll just be excited. I'll see that as a buying opportunity. Hey, I'm so excited for earnings. Let's go SoFi. Monday morning. Have a good day.